Hello guys, so it's been a while and it's time to bring back a deck that's really close to my heart. None other than Zombie World Eldlich, with a small Dogma engine. But I know the competitive versions of this deck are the ones that run 50 million traps with the other monster, the Sky Prison monster. But that's not really the fun way to play this deck. And if you really just need a reason to play this deck, what other than ruining a Flounder player's day? So you just play Zombie World and just ruin their day. Plus, the synergy between the Eldritch cards and the zombie cards like Battle Drought, Zombie, with cards like Sanguine, for example, is it's too good not to abuse. And to be honest, this is the deck. This is the way the deck is meant to play. Was meant to be played in the first place. So even though it might not be the most competitive version of the deck, it's the most fun version, and it still can pack a punch and beat some decks when no one can expect it. There are some changes that I expect to make soon enough, now that the Dimension Force is out. But for now, I'm going to show you this build, and if there's enough interest, I might consider making a more combo-oriented version of the Eldritch Zombie build. We'll see. Anyways, for starters, let's go. Obviously, 2 Eldritch Lord, heart and soul of the deck. You need to, and he just makes everything work. Like, you have him on board, your Sanguines and everything else is live, as you know, which means you can summon cards like Unizombie. So let's say you set up Sanguine, activate, you have a Lord on field, you banish a Golden Land trap in your opponent's end phase, set the Sanguine, your turn. You have the Lord on field, flip Sanguine, summon Unizombie. Even if you have no cards in hand, you're missing that one starter, this could be it. Or you could, for kicks and giggles, just play the Baladrock. Summon the Baladrock off Sanguine, which is insane. Normal summons, you can play this. You just play the one, you don't really need more than one. You either dump it off Unizombie, or if you're desperate, you normal summon it, make Linkuribo, or a Relinquished Anima, and this gets you there. Or you can summon this O'Neill Fiber as well. Really good card, really versatile card. But you just have to be careful about the restriction of it. When you banish it from the grave, for its effect, you're locked to zombies, so just keep that in mind. Banshee, OP, decks are siding this card apparently with Zombie World. Just dump it, activate Zombie World from deck. Really good card. 1 is fine, you don't need more than that. This is a bit of a flex spot. Even till this day, I tend to side this card out a lot. But sometimes when you have him in hand, in awkward hands, you can use this effect, discard something that's a brick, summon him, maybe discard the Lord, discard Baladrock, stuff like that, gets it on the field. It's an interruption, it's really good as an interruption, especially if you have the Zombie World, but you can consider messing with it. This could be the new Shang-Chi, the new level 7, I think that when it's banished he gets an effect. I'm not sure, for now consider this a flex spot. And then we have the Dogma engine. So the deck was missing something. I used to play Rivalry, Super Poly, a couple of one format ago or so, but that's probably better now in Despia form. But right now, I feel this is a better engine because if you open nothing, this could buy you time. You know, normal summon Ecclesia, search a punishment, or search a Fleur could buy you enough time to get going. And you don't really need the X deck so often, so it's fine. Now hand traps, I play 6. Nibiru isn't very good this format, but where I play it's good. So you could play possibly Ogre if you're afraid of the Adventure engine. You could main Lancia if you're worried about some certain decks. You can play Super Poly now that Despia are so popular. I think if you want to play this in a meta environment, replace it with Super Poly and adjust the extra deck accordingly, obviously. But these are just up to you. For spells, I placed the Extravagance. I think if I had Prosperity, I'd probably play it, but you need the draws in this deck. Sure, it's a very consistent, very grindy deck, but if you can draw 2, and you don't really care about your X deck so much, it's a great card, and they will always ash this card because it's a threat, which means your Unizombies are often safe if you need them to resolve. And then the God card, Zombie World. I mean, this card comes and goes out of formats like since the dawn of Yu-Gi-Oh, since this card came into existence, and it's really cool, really interesting card. In Monarch format, it can wreck people, it can wreck Flounder, Dragon Links, Tri Brigades. It's such an underrated card that has such a massive impact, even though it does nothing. You activate it and it does nothing. Though obviously it has synergies for your deck, but like it doesn't generate a plus, for example, like Spiral Resort. or diagram or whatever. So yeah, really good card. Then we have this Eldlich cards, obviously Curse Eldland, the one black and the one white. As I mentioned, since you play Eldritch and zombies, this, if you control a lord, can summon a bad drop from deck, summon a uni-zombie. Same with this, summons it from hand or grave. You can summon anything you want, which is, it boggles the mind, to be honest. And it's a shame more people don't play this version of the deck. And I'm surprised this guy's still at 3, but fine, we'll take it. Then we have the Dogma package, obviously we have the 2 Nadir. Honestly, this guy could come to 3. I don't know why it's a 2, it's such an awkward ratio, but fine, whatever, Konami. And then the flex spot, obviously Village Bear in a zombie deck is self-explanatory. It can be anything else, but I think this is a good flex spot. Then we have the Eldlich engine, obviously 3 Sanguine, 3 Conch, 3 Hakuero. Often I side one out of this, depending on the matchup. You can side one of this. And finally we have the punishment, just one, it's fine. Then we'll go to the extra deck. Now since you play Extravagance, you have to keep this in mind, obviously. So for fodder, for my link, for my blue bulb, you either have Link or Reap or Anima. Anima can come going second, depends. And if you banish both of them, it's still not a big deal because you're only just playing one bulb, so it's fine. Bloom, I mean. Now I love this card. Many people played one of this, but I think as playing Extravagance, you need to. This card is a god card. This card is really good. Not only does it get you draws, it also lets you tribute monsters from your opponent's side of the field, which no one knows. So if you have a zombie world on field, and this is left on the field, you haven't killed it in the battlefield, for example, you just passed and left it on the field. Let's say you have a Baradrock in hand, you have a Golden Lord in hand. This is on field, you have a zombie world, you can tribute their monsters for it. Tribute 2, tribute summon, you know, it's insane. No one knows the second effect and it's really good. Plus you can obviously trigger Baradrock with this, you know the combo is self-explanatory. Then this is the newer combo that most zombie players are playing now, where you summon Bloom or you summon whatever. You do the plays and you leave Needle Fiber on the field, you leave Hulk on the field. Then the opponent's turn, you tribute it, you summon the Formula Synchron, draw 1. Let's say you have Baldrock, use the Banish of Baldrock, use the Negate of Baldrock. You make this Synchro, you make Fleur. I know it's a very expensive card, so you can substitute with the Shiranui card, you can substitute with the new zombie card that came with Dimension Force, but this is still the optimal card to play here. Really, so you go, you negate something with Baldrock, you banish something with Baldrock. That's aside from the interruption you have in your back row, and you have, let's say, Zombie World. Then you have Fleur on top of all that. It's an interesting board it's like a consequential board that builds its negations, interruptions over time, which is very interesting. And it's like, this is a new way of playing Yu-Gi-Oh today. This card is utility, but it's really good. Sometimes you need the dump. So if you're going second, for example, you're in a tight spot, you summon this, attack on something, declare on something, you dump a Bloom in damage step, you dump Banshee, you dump whatever you need, get your fix your hand, fix your field. Utility, obviously this, it could be anything, but it's good to have a Nightmare Phoenix. This one, it could be any Link 3, it could be other stuff, but I think now that we have this card, you can either use it as a bridge to just get to access code, since you play a lot of zombies and zombie world and whatever, or because if user effect summons something from the grave, you're locked to zombie, so you can't summon access code anymore. So it depends. So you can either summon something, and if it's enough to kill, you go for that, or you can just use it as a bridge, make access code, get lethal that way. It depends on, obviously, on the game state. Then obviously we have the Nadir targets and the punishment targets. So Extravagance again, 2 should usually be fine. If you banish all, it happens, but it's not the end of the world. And finally, another flex spot, the Gustav Max. If you need to do the burn, you know, attack lords, they're on 1000 life points, make this, they're dead. Could be anything else, like could be another zombie link monster that gives you more utility. Like this, as I mentioned, this actually deck is very flexible, so just go with what you feel is better for you. And again, if you playing Prosperity, it makes life easier, but Extrav also works. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun. Enjoy ruining Flunder's days. And well, let's see if we end up building that combo version of this deck. Because obviously, as I mentioned, you can play this, a more combo-centric version of this deck, or you can play it without the Sanguine, without the Eldlich, without the Dogma, play it as a pure combo zombie deck. We'll see. We got a lot of support, a lot of love from Konami, so there's a lot we can do. So yeah, thanks again, and hope you liked it.